You are all welcome to our lecture series on presentations. We had an earlier presentation that we discussed, and it was of a friend of ours, a student who presented his findings from research. In this one, we have another student. For purposes of anonymity, I have still removed the names, the program and the supervisor, so we cannot trace them. This one is another student who studied biochemical evaluation of avocado, mesocarpine wet and dry areas. And in this particular presentation, this was also a research study. And what we see is that the slide number 1, the title slide, is well occupied, although the font size of the title may seem to be a little bit bigger, but it is well occupied. And if this is projected onto a wall, we are very sure it is visible. Coming to slide number 2, introduction. In this one, the student used copy and paste. The student put all the information that there was in the Word document and he placed it into his PowerPoint document, or in this particular slide. Introduction as a title to this slide would have been centrally placed, and the wordings, it is too much. It is way beyond congested. The slide is over congested. Coming to slide number 2, or the one that has problem statement, would have centrally placed the title as problem statement. This one tried, as compared to the first example, this one has one bullet for the problem statement, and because it is supposed to be just a problem statement, we may not put there a bullet as a bullet, but then we see that he has more than half of the slide empty. So there is a lot of void space, and here he was supposed to bring out what the problem really is. Why does he think he's going to make these studies? So whatever this one brought about, he talks about the problem of blood cholesterol due to saturated fats and trans fat. And he says avocado can help to treat obesity, low levels of high density lipoprotein, and so on. But he has not connected, when he talks of these fruits being grown in many parts of the country, and then he says many people are affected. Here one had to qualify the problem. Is the problem really out there? Do we have it, or it is a speculation? Number 2, what is the connection? How about those who have been using avocado? Have they actually gotten results that are positive? And then do we then have to study those ones against those who don't use the avocado and see the benefits? Then we may not go into the content of the matter here, or the problem statement, but this slide here is lacking. There is a lot of void space. This slide of objectives, he would have written objectives centrally as a title, and in his general objective he talks of analysis of the avocado fruit. But because in his problem he had talked about human beings using avocado to probably treat obesity and so on, probably we would see some connection here, but it's not there. And for specific objectives he's using determine, which is okay, but he has a lot of void space on the slide. We have a lot of gaps on the slide, so the slide and the font size may not be very good, but the color contrast, black and white, that is wonderful. When we come to materials, is mentioning different methods different methods that he's using, and he has simply listed the methods and then the instruments, and he has also listed the reagents that he needs to use as materials. So methods is not clear there. Now here for the determination of protein, he decides to put there everything that we have in the Claygen method. But given that this is a PowerPoint presentation, we needed bullets. What are the points to take home from that method? Not everything, not every step in the method. Even the heading was supposed to be centrally placed. Coming to the determination of fat and oil content using Soxhlet method, yes, that title is big. The font size is bigger than expected. Even the placement, the title is almost occupying half of the page, and it is still a title. And when you look at the font size of the statements that follow, I think that is a description or an outline of the method. It is sad news. Those fonts are unreadable. So that one on this slide, that was not near anywhere acceptable. When we come to results, the font size for the title results is small, and the determination of protein content and the tables that follow, the font sizes are microscopic, given that we are going to project whatever we are going to be having on our slide is going to be projected onto a wall. That one is unreadable when you use the wall. Then when we come to what he presents as results, actually is presenting data treatment. When you present calculations, those calculations actually are not called for. We don't need calculations when we are going to have a PowerPoint presentation and probably of the results from a study, and you put there everything that is in a calculation. This slide here is not good, it's uncalled for. That was not information expected. No. When we expect results, we don't expect data treatment and so on. Here we have determination of fat and oil content, and he has two tables, and the tables are in very tiny fonts, and we also have blue color, white font. Contrast is not good. He has another slide number 11 has mainly calculations. This was not good because you can see how much space is left on the slide. Then for discussion of results, see where the title of the slide has fallen. It is almost in the center of the page, and what follows is minimal inclusion, where we have what would be bullets. They are actually lessened in a kind of space and weight. This is not what we would expect. No. And even when we come to conclusion, you see where he's putting his title in the center of the page, and then he has words that follow in the conclusion, which are too many. These are not all points. The words are many, and there is congestion there, and the font size is also not good. Recommendation. He still has a recommendation as a title to the slide, and it is too big. It has left a lot of space above. It is in the center. And even when we are communicating in research, you don't refer to yourself. You don't put there the person. You don't say I, don't say we, you don't say you. Here is saying according to my findings, I recommend. That is not right. That's not the way we communicate in research, and that one I think we discussed earlier.